Flowchart is the pictorial representation of your program logic. Now let us understand what are the symbols which are used in a flowchart. For computing, you need anything where you will write a particular expression which is calculating something, that must be written in a rectangle. Okay, then whenever you have to represent a statement which either reads any kind of input or which display any output, there you have to use a parallelogram. Okay, then whenever we have to take any kind of decision or any kind of comparison, right, that is done in this rhombus. Here the spelling mistake is there. Okay, then this small circle is a connector. Connector is used if your flowchart is spanning from one page in two pages. So after one page you will put a connector at the end, and then in the next page you will start with that connector, and then you can start your remaining flowchart. Okay, then this ellipse is used to mark the start and stop of a program. Then a rectangle with two lines, see here, rectangle with two lines is used for a sub program or a module. Right now we will not be using this sub module. And then arrows are used to show the flow of data or flow of control in a flowchart. Now this is the simplest program where we are adding two numbers. Okay, so it is starting with symbol start. Your program logic starts with start, and then control is going down. Okay, then you have to take two numbers from the user. So here we have written input number 1, number 2. Then this number 1 and number 2 are the names given by the programmer. You have to give this name. As we write variable names, let x, in mathematics we write let the principal amount be p, let the amount be a, right? So that way here also you can define variables, but in a variable name white spaces are not allowed. That means you cannot have a variable name simple space interest, right? It has to be one word only, right? If you have to use two words, then you can insert an underscore symbol in between, right? So you can write simple underscore interest. That will be treated as one name by the computer for you. These are two different words which is making one variable name. Okay, instead of input you can write read also here, right? Then we have taken two numbers from the user. User will either type these two numbers from the keyboard, and then after taking two numbers you have to write an expression. You have to process these two numbers. So what you will do, this program is adding two numbers, right? So you will add these two numbers, number 1 plus number 2, and the result will be saved in the third variable named sum. Again, this is user defined variable. You can give any name. You can give s or sum, or you can give res, or you can give name as result, result, right? Now one thing you must understand here, that if you are reading values in this name number 1, everywhere in the flowchart it should appear number 1 only. You cannot have num1 here and you cannot write number 1 here, right? Whatever variable name you have used here, that same variable name must be used everywhere in the flowchart or everywhere in the program when you will do programming, right? Here n is capital, here also n is capital, here n is capital, here also n is capital. There is no space between number and 1, right? So this is treated as one name, right? Similarly, this is treated as one name, one variable name. Then after adding these two numbers, you have saved the result in third variable named sum. Now the result has been saved. You have to display that result, right? So for that, again you have to use a parallelogram because you are displaying something. Here instead of print you can write WRITE, or you can write display, right? Here it is written as print. Print means display only. So it will display whatever result it has calculated in this variable, and then the program will stop. Here is another example where you will read a value of temperature in Celsius, and then your program or flowchart will convert this value from Celsius to Fahrenheit. Okay, now the formula which is used here is this: C is equal to F minus 32 into 5 by 9. Here you will read value of C, right? So you have to find out value of F, right? So temperature in Fahrenheit will be F is equal to C multiplied by 9 divided by 5 plus 32. This formula we have to use, right? And value of C we have to read. See, it is saying na flowchart to convert temperature from Celsius to Fahrenheit. That means you have to read value of temperature in Celsius. User, whatever value user give, that will be treated as temperature in Celsius. Okay, so your program starts with start, then it will go down. Here in the parallelogram you have written input statement, input value of C, or instead of writing this you can write input C, or you can write read C, right? Or you can write CEL, or you can write CELSIUS. Okay, whatever is convenient for you, right? Here capital C is being used to read value of temperature in Celsius. So everywhere you have to use C only, in other expressions also. Now you have got value of temperature in Celsius. This has to be converted into Fahrenheit. Okay, now in computers you cannot write 9 divided by 5 like this, right? You cannot write 9 divided by 5. See, 9 divided by 5. This we write in normal mathematics. So how it must be written in computers? In computers you will write it like this: 9, then division symbol here is this slash, right? This is known as forward slash. 9 divided by 5. Here you will, in the expression you will write it like this. Okay, so here it is written C, formula it is C into 9 by 5, right? So we have written 9 divided by 5. Okay, then it must be multiplied with value of C. Again, in computers, instead of multiplication you have to use star symbol, shift and 8, right? Star means multiplication. Whenever you will use star in a mathematical expression, it is treated as multiplication, right? You cannot use X here, right? So here you can write either like this, or you can write C into 9 divided by 5 minus 32. Okay, so you have written expression in a rectangle. This will be calculated and the value will be saved in F. Now whatever value is saved in F, that is the temperature converted into Fahrenheit, right? And then you have to display the value of F. Here you can write either display or show or print. Here it is written as print, right? So it is displaying value of f after converting. Then this input and output are used in parallelogram, and then after printing it will stop the program. Now in this next flow chart, you have to read two numbers, or you have to take two numbers from the user, and then you have to display the greater number. You have to find greater of the two numbers. Okay, so your program logic starts with, it is starting with start, right? And then you have to read two numbers from the user. So you have to use a parallelogram to read two numbers. After reading, now you have to compare, right? So whenever you have to do any kind of comparison, that is done in a rhombus, right? Now this rhombus will have two outputs, because this comparison can return either true or false. There is no third value, right? This expression a greater than b, it will return either true or false, right? So if it is returning true, your control will come here, right? If it is returning false, your control will come here, right, in this branch. Okay, so if value of a is greater than b, what you are checking here is a greater than b. Suppose you enter value of a as some value. I'll show you how to execute this on the paper. Until and unless you are able to execute the logic on the paper, you cannot write programs, right? So let us write down all the variable names. This is known as execution trace of this flow chart. There is variable a and there is variable b, right? Suppose user enter value of a as 10, right? And suppose value of b as 2. Okay, now these two statements have been executed, right? Now it will come here. Is a greater than b? Now what is the value of a? 10. What is the value of b? 2. So what it is actually checking? It is actually checking whether 10 is greater than 2, right? So it will return yes, right? True. True means it will come here. It will follow this path, right? Why it will follow this path? Because this statement has returned true or yes. For yes, you have written logic here, right? So you will come here and then it will display print a is greater, or you can write simply print a. So it will just display the greater value, and then from here again it will move down and your control comes here and the program will stop, right? Now let us consider another situation. Again we will start this program. Start, input value of a and b. This time suppose you enter value of a as minus 3, right? Then value of b is suppose 2. Again let us, value of b is 2 only, right? Now it will come here, it will check a is greater than b, right? So what it is checking? minus 3 is greater than 2. क्या minus 3 2 से बड़ा होता है? नहीं. No, minus 3 is smaller than 2. That means it has to follow a path where you have written false or no, right? So now from here the control will shift here, right? And then it will display b is greater, or you can simply write print b, right? And then from here it will come down and your program will stop. Okay, now let us consider a third situation. where you enter value of A as, let us say, 6 and value of B is 6, right? So A and B, so it will come here, A is greater than B, right? So what it is checking, 6 is greater than 6. क्या 6 से बड़ा होता है? No, right? It is equal, that we know, but it is not greater than 6. 6 is not greater than 6, so it will come in no, right? It will display B is greater, right? Now here you can you can improvise this program. What if both the values are equal? Then what is to be done? That can be done later. Now here, because both are same, if you display B is greater, or you can display A is greater, because both are same. Okay, it is just to explain, if you give both the values are same, if the expression here is A is greater than B, that means 6 is greater than 6, it is false. False means no. No means it will come here, then it will display print B is greater. Now let us see another program or another flow chart where you have to find the greatest of 3 numbers. See, here it is written, greatest of 3 numbers. Greatest of 3 numbers. Now the program will start from ellipse. In the ellipse you will write start, and then you have to read 3 numbers A, B and C. Okay, now let us write the execution trace also, right? Suppose here user enters value of A as 10, value of B as 20 and value of C as 15. Okay, we have these values where value of A, B and C, suppose user has given these values. Okay, now after reading it will come here, right? Here it is checking, is A greater than B? So what it is actually checking, is 10 greater than 20, right? So it will return what? False. False means it will come here. Here now you have come to know that B is greater than A. Now what you have to check? You have to check whether B is greater than C or not, right? So from here it will come here in this branch, because it has to follow no wala branch. It will come here and then it is checking, is B greater than C, right? If B is greater than C, then it is displaying value of B. Yes means it will come here, right? And then it will stop, right? Now there is one problem in this code, in this flow chart. We have to modify this flow chart. How it has to be modified, I will tell you. Okay, now whatever values we have given, we have come to know that B is greater. Here it will check 20 is greater than 15. Yes, yes means it will come here, and then it will display print B. So it will display print 20 it will display, and then it will come here and then stop. Okay, now let us see another example where suppose you give value of A as 50, right? Now we have executed this. Value of A is 50, B is 20 and C is 15. So it will come here. Is A greater than B? A greater than B. 50 is greater than 20. Yes, right? Yes means it has to follow this path. It will come here. Now it has to compare between A and C. क्या C A से तो बड़ा नहीं है, right? So it is comparing. Is A greater than C? That means 50 is greater than 15, right? So 50 is greater than 15. Yes. Yes means it will follow this branch. In this branch it will come here and then it will display print A. That means print 50. After displaying 50 it will come here, right? Now suppose value of C is, let us say, 75, right? Again value of A is 50, B is 20, C is 75. So it will come here. Is A greater than B? 50 is greater than 20. Yes. Yes means it will come here. Now it will compare A and C. Here we have come to know that A is greater than B. Here we are checking whether A is greater than C also or not. So now it will compare 50 is greater than 75. No. No means it will follow this path here. In the no wala branch it will go and then it will display print 75. After printing 75 it will come here and stop. Okay. Now the problem which I was telling will come if you give earlier it was 15 here, it was 10 here. Here suppose you give 25. Now let us see. Okay, A, B, C. Now A is 10, B is 20, C is 25. A is greater than B, that means 10 is greater than 25. No. No means it will come here. Now it will check B between B and C. So it will check 20 is greater than 25, right? So that is false. फॉल्स के लिए यहाँ पर एक और ब्रांच आना चाहिए. जैसे यहाँ पर दो ब्रांच आ रही हैं. इन एवरी रोम्बस देयर हैज टू बी टू ब्रांचेस डिपिक्टिंग yes and no. In this there is only one branch. That means we have to modify this flow chart. Okay. Now see. Now it has been modified. Let us execute this code again. This not code, flow chart. It is starting from start. Then read ABC. Suppose values you have given 10, 20 and 25. First it will compare whether A is greater than B. That means 10 is greater than 20. No. No means it will come here. Now it will compare is B greater than C. That means 20 is greater than 25. Okay. Yes means it will come here. But in our case 20 is greater than 25 will return no. No means it will follow this path. Here you have to write no here. I forgot to write no here. This branch is depicting no, this is depicting yes, right? So each rhombus now has two branches depicting yes and no. Okay. So now B is not 20 is not greater than 25. So it will follow this branch and then it will display 25 and then from here it will come here and then stop. Here we have another logic to display the greatest of three numbers. Now this logic can be used to find the greatest amongst a list of numbers. If suppose you have given, if suppose you have to read 10 numbers, 20 numbers, 40 numbers, right? Or you have to read 5 numbers, then this logic can be used to compare. Otherwise, if you go as per the previous logic, your flowchart will go on increasing with n number of branches. So this is a simplest logic to find greatest of 3 or more numbers, right? Even to find the greatest of 3 numbers, this logic can be used. It can be used to find the greatest amongst more than 3 numbers, right? So now first what it has done, it has started the logic and then value of A is 0, B is 0, C is 0 and large is 0. There is one more variable named large. Okay, इसका भी value 0. All these values are 0 now. Okay, so till now I have executed this much. Okay, now read A, B, C. Now first it has assumed that A is 0, B is 0, C everything is 0 before starting the code. Now it will read values for A, B and C. So now suppose user enters 10, 20 and 25. Okay, then it will come here. Now it has assumed that the value of A is the largest value. So it has assigned value of A in large. So now value of large will become 10. Okay. Then it will come here. Now it will compare. Now it has assumed that the first value is the largest. From the remaining values it will compare this value now. So first it will compare this value large with B. Now we have assumed that A is large. We are left with B and C. Now we have to compare B with large and C with large, right? So first we will compare, is B greater than large? So in our case value of B is 20, value of large is 10. So here it will check whether 20 is greater than 10. Yes, right? Yes means it will follow this path, right? So in this path what it is doing now, it is assigning value of B in large. So now B large is equal to B. It is same as large is equal to B. या तो तुम ऐसा लिख सकते हो, large arrow B, that means value of B is assigned in variable large. That is what is meant by this statement. Or simply you can write large is equal to B. So now value of large is 20. We have executed the code till here. From here it will follow this path and then it will come here. Okay, now we have compared A and B. Now we have to compare large with C. From A and B we have got the largest value. So large variable is keeping the value of the largest value. Now we are left with the third variable. Here we will check, is C greater than large? So what is the value of C? 25. 25 greater than 20. From the previous two values, the largest value will be saved in variable large. Now you will again compare. What is value of C? Value of C, you can see value of C is 25. So you will write, you will see here 25 greater than, what is the value of large? 20. 25 is greater than 20, right? Yes, yes means it will come here, this path. It will follow this path and then value of C must go in large. So now value of large becomes 25. Okay, and then it will come here. It will come here and then print large, right? So what was the last value of large? Last value of large is 25. So it will display 25, right? That is how it is executed, right? Now let us take some other set of values. We will take B as larger. We will write 45 here. Okay. So this has been executed. We have read values of A, B, C. A, B, C is 10, 45, 25. Let value of large is A, right? These are actually a variable can store one value at a time. So while writing you have to cut this. You have to cut this, right? Or here you can write it like this. Previously it was 0, 0 when you executed this statement, then it became ABC when user enters 10, 45, 25, then that 0 is actually replaced with 10 0 is replaced with 45 in B, and in C it becomes 25, right? When you write it on paper, just cut those values and then you can write new values. Okay, so whichever way you want, you can do that way. Then value of large is A. So now value of large becomes 10, right? We have executed till here. Now let us go down. Is B greater than large? 45 greater than 10. Yes, yes means it will come here. Large becomes B. So now value of large becomes 45. 10 will be overwritten with 45, right? Then from here it will come, follow this path, it will come here. Then it will compare, is C greater than large? 25 greater than 45. No, no means it will follow this path. This path means it has to do nothing. Nothing means it will come down and then print value of large. So what was the last value of large? 45. So it will display 45 as the largest value.